Hey, what's up everyone? This is going to be a introduction video to Ultimate Golf. Basically just outlining some of the features as well as giving you some good resources to get you started. So first you'll see these tabs at the bottom. Here's your bag. When you're first starting off, you won't have anything unlocked. The best thing I can recommend is just play some Tour 1, play some Tour 2. Start to unlock these chests right here in the home screen. You'll start to see club unlocks come, as you can see. Brand new account here. We have the Scarab Sandwich coming in, the El Capitan just from free chests. Their game hosts one of the best free chests that you can have on any market. So if you were to compare to other games, the free chests here are going to be top notch. That's how I was already able to unlock El Capitan. And if we want to start looking at, unlocking some of this higher stuff, we're going to have to progress in the tour, get those tours unlocked. Once those tours are unlocked, you can start to see free clubs start to accumulate in this free bag. So it goes off of highest tour. So when I go to the head-to-head here, you'll see I have Tour 1 open, Tour 2 open. So right now my club selection is I can only get cards for Tour 1 and Tour 2 clubs. As we progress through the game, you'll want to try to focus on, working your way up, getting to Tour 4, Tour 5, Tour 6, Tour 7. As soon as you get to Tour 7 and unlock that, you'll have full access to all of the clubs that can be won from the free chests, from the big shot, from the tournaments. So you'll want to progress that account up in Tour as fast as possible. They also have some really great tournament features as well. Here you'll see things like the boss battle that they'll do. We can go ahead and I can just download these assets real quick and just give you an overview. It's going to be a good way for you to earn some premium stuff along the way in the early going where you can use for later. So if I was to go to the standings, for example, you'll see basically the score to beat is even par. So as long as we beat even, we'll be in the money. So with that being said, just gives you a good opportunity to win some rewards for the early clubs. And if we were to go to this info here and go to the rewards, you'll see we get a silver bag. We'll also win some coins as well. So we use 100 coins with the chance to win 1,000. So that is one of the better features of this game, in my opinion, is the tournaments. So you'll definitely want to be able to either click one, if you see those boss battles or if you see these blue tournaments, definitely worth taking advantage of for sure. Additionally, I just kind of wanted to give you guys a club rundown. So here's your basic bag setup. There is a Android app, iOS app called Guide for Ultimate Golf. This is going to be your best hub for having all the up-to-date information. So this is the app. Once you download it, it is free to download. So highly recommend giving it a try. And here you can see there's a guide section at the top. All the new tutorials, including this one, it's going to go into that recent guides at the top there. There's a win calculator feature that you can use as well, which will allow you to get all the adjustments that you need. You'll see these bags here. These are going to mirror some of the bags that you have from the in-game. So anything that you set up and have, you can see that I had that El Capitan unlocked. So if I was to go back to the bag, I match the bags with the Sparrow, with the El Capitan. As soon as we start to unlock the clubs, we start to mirror what we have in this bag. And you'll see you're able to build a library and then go to the win calculator, and we can start to use these adjustments. So as I input win, it tells me great approximations to get that ball real close to the hole. So for instance, in a 10-mile-per-hour wind, we would go about 3.51 rings from the max line. The min line would go about 3 and 3.33. So it just gives you a range of ring values for the club. So back in game there, as we go to use a club on the hole, for instance in that boss battle, that's what we'll be able to utilize. So we'll be able to take that club and input wind and have an output for the ring adjustment. So in this case, you're seeing 7.3. So if I was to go back here, 7.3, 2.5 rings. So what that means is at this max line right here, here's the min line down here, but max is up here. So at this max line, we're going to get approximately 2.5 rings up from max is where the ball's going to land. It gives you a good estimation, especially once you start to get in towards the green. It's going to be really useful to get those approaches close to the hole. Similarly, there's a lot of other features that this app has that makes it really user-friendly for you. So if this is your first download of the game, we can click on Battering Ram, we can get a short description, plus we can see all the levels of all the clubs. For example, this is going to be probably the first driver that you unlock, and it also gives you a little slight description letting you know when to use this club. Outlaw is going to be one of the biggest drivers that you end up upgrading to, and this just gives you a nice overview of how to use that club and kind of what to expect in the early going. And you can see how the club progresses at each of the levels as well. So you can do some comparison. For instance, Outlaw to Fusion is one of the things that a lot of guys might do. So you'll be able to compare your Outlaw stats to the Fusion stats and just kind of seeing how it progresses along the way for nice comparisons. Similarly, the balls in game. So these are some of the balls that you can either have for free. As soon as you click on a ball, you'll be able to have good usage information. So here you'll see that it's best for low winds, this spider ball, short par fours, shrinking the club range down to kind of a smaller size in the event that you don't want that huge, large span. It keeps the power number down, so you have a really tighter span for ring adjustment. What that does is it just makes it a little bit easier. When that span's a little bit smaller, you know that the adjustment's somewhere in that span. Similarly, this is a good ball for wide fairways. Biggest reason being is the swing zone is pretty small, so you're going to want a little bit of extra room. It also gives you, good cases to avoid. So if this is your first time playing the game, it makes it a lot easier for you to be able to see, oh, okay, in headwinds, I might want to go with a little bit better power ball as opposed to a spider ball. Similarly, you'll see avoiding long putts. The putt zone stat is not the best with this ball, so you'll find a lot of better balls. So if you know that you're going to have a hole that's tough for approaches, you might not get as close to the pin as you want, you might want to try to avoid the spider ball. It's just one of those things that just kind of gives you a good overview as to when to use. And you see when I click on something like a Pro D1 here, there's very few cases where you have to avoid it. In fact, one of the biggest things that I put on here is for small wins for you to avoid, because if the wind's too small, you might as well use one of those other balls, one of those lower tier balls. But other than that, this is a great all-around ball, and that's why you don't see a lot of negatives being listed with it. There is a detailed help section here letting you guys, figure out, this is how I set up my bag, this is how I use the wind calculator. There's also nice video tutorials at the box. Down here at the bottom, you'll see things like what is min, mid, and max. If this is the first time that you're experiencing those type of adjustments, that video that you can launch on just by clicking on it goes straight to YouTube, and we can pull up and learn more about the game from this help section. So definitely using that help resource is going to be, a very good thing to do. If you're an Android user, there's also this mesh tab walking you through setting up some of the screen type overlay things that you can do for counting rings a little bit easier. There's some other features in here as well that you can learn about. There's some videos along the way. So hopefully, you know, if you're new to the game, this is definitely worth picking up and putting on your device. It's free to use. There's no, you know, downside to having it on your device. And you'll see that we have Facebook communities here as well, YouTube, that you can, you know, go directly to find YouTube content that'll make the game playing easier for you. And, you know, lots of cool stuff, and feedback always welcome. So, you know, if you guys feel like coming in here and checking this out, definitely recommend for the early going, just being able to play around and be able to use not only the Ultimate Golf, but the guide for the Ultimate Golf. So good luck with your progress, and, you know, feel free to subscribe and also check out the other tutorials on beginner learning the game. So best of luck, and see you guys next time.